What is up, Frank?
Yeah, brother.
How
How you
you doing
doing?
today?
Weeks
Dude,
roll by, man. Another Thursday to Thursday down, huh?
dude, I literally today, I was just working. All of a sudden, I'm like, holy crap, it's 5:30. I'm the only one here. Holy smokes, where did the time go? It literally felt like I didn't eat lunch. I mean, I just like right through it.
Yeah. The last couple of days went real fast, I have to say.
And wild. I know, man.
Busy
So
or what?
yes, yeah, like we had like last week was a weird little lull. I think it was like the 4th of July hangover.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
And then this week it's just been like, guys getting hat tricks left and right, and
Awesome.
yeah, it's been awesome. So
Sick. Yeah,
yeah,
same here, man. We usually see a lull in July. It's totally normal.
right,
Everybody around here is kind of away at their second or third or fifth homes and
that's
traveling
right.
around and chilling. And then we get crazy by the end of August, but we already saw a little pickup in the last like 10 days. So
Same.
just business as usual, man. Rock and
That's
roll.
right. That's right. Heck
Yes.
yeah,
You want to tell everybody about who we have on today?
man, dude, I'm actually excited. I literally just met Chuck 10 minutes ago.
Uh,
Your intro to him on the gutter installer page, I was like, holy cow! Like the next day installs, this is insane.
I
And
know.
then I asked him about it. And he's like, I'll have a guy there within an hour sometimes. It's
Yeah,
like,
we got to dig into that.
oh my goodness, I'm stoked. Like this is I don't know, this is like revolutionary, cool stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody
You
should
shedded
be.
a lot of in the chat we just had about, you know, doing things differently, the stuff you need to do that will make you stand out, help your business, the things most guys don't think about.
Uh,
I think we should spend some time on that today too.
Big time. I think that's the focus of today is how to differentiate yourself, how to stand out. And you see it all the time that the gutter industry is so saturated and whatever else, and you
It's
can't
not
make
about
any
any of
money in this. It's not about any of that. It doesn't matter how many people are out there. It
that.
doesn't
Right.
matter people, or it doesn't matter what they charge. No, none of it matters. It's how do you differentiate yourself? How do you stand out in a crowd? I mean, we have all wrangled the girl at some point, right? What did we do to stand out? Same thing in business, right?
That's it. Yeah. It's no different. No different. Do you
Yeah.
remember the mountain range he said he lived near? Can you pronounce that?
Oh, I can't say it, dude.
Can't
I
remember what it's
butchered it. He's in Kingman, Arizona. I know that.
Kingman, Arizona. It's a whole
Yeah, yeah.
nother planet over there. It's like the
Right.
moon, right?
That's right.
Rocky and Dusty. He's a side by side connoisseur.
That's right.
I guess he's
Fanatic.
sponsored and stuff. He's got a lot of stuff going on.
He's got so much stuff going on. So, you know what? Let's
Let's get
I
him
mean,
out.
I think he's blushing good enough. So let's bring him out. And Chuck, how the heck are you, man?
I'm doing great, guys. I appreciate the invite for sure.
100%,
Yeah.
man. You have a lot to offer the gang here, so we definitely want to pick your brain and find out a little about what you're doing, how you're doing it, what your strategies are. You're an elder statesman, such as myself. How many years do you have on you?
So in gutters, 4 years, and I've owned my own business and landscape, which I've attached the gutter company to for a little bit over 23 years, 24 years.
Nice,
Okay.
excellent. So you're a
Nice.
seasoned entrepreneur.
Yeah, I've been doing self-employment for almost 30 years.
All right,
So
so
yeah, I
this is the type of guy we like to bring out. I mean, we see some real fast starters only a few years in, and they have some great advice. But a seasoned gentleman such as yourself, I've seen all kinds of trials and tribulations, and we like to pick the brain of a sage warrior. So
That's right.
let's have at it. What can you tell us about your business? Give us a quick run through of what services you provide.
so we do. So my first business was land construction. So I build waterfalls, putting greens, and all that. And I've always outsourced the gutters because I've always thought that gutters and landscape go together.
Right.
We've always had massive storms where they'll flood the backyards. So if you got 80% of a house that drops 80% of the volume of water into the backyard in a small yard,
Yeah.
it's good to have gutters. And so I would always refer it. And then I kind of decided to have my house done. So then when I had my house done, he put 5-inch gutters on my house and he installed them like below the drip edge. So I kind of questioned it. I was like, doesn't seem like they're installed properly. At that time, I had no idea the proper installation techniques.
Right.
Sure enough, the first rain came through and my little gutters, my roof is My roof line's about 3,800 square feet. That's how big the house is, give or take. And it's pretty steep. So the water just went right over the gutters. Never even thought about capturing it.
Yeah. You knew they would, right? You knew the water would.
And again, I never did a gutter, but common sense says the gutter's too low and it's too narrow. And when I did a little bit of research, the basic consensus was, yeah, you need at least a 6-inch gutter. You got to go behind the drip edge and you need to put it up as high as humanly possible. And if it's too much of a channel, you put a splash guard to slow it down. And when I told him this, he says, well, I'll just take it off, because he only had a 5-inch machine. So he said, I'll just take it off, give your money back. I was like, okay.
I was a gentleman.
He did.
That is a gentleman. Good job.
I respect him for
Whoever
that.
that guy is, kudos to you. So.
And
Might be
and
listening.
so I started doing research on who had a 6-inch machine. Nobody did at the time. So then I started doing research. I was like, well, I've never hung a gutter, so what do I do? You know what I mean? I was like, well, I'll start my own gutter company and only offer 6-inch. I don't offer 5-inch.
Same story for me, man. You kind of like reverse engineer it and understand it, and then once you get it, you're like, wait a minute, I can do this.
Yeah. It wasn't, when I watched him do it, I was like, the hardest part was the machine. Was it KWM or was it in KWM or NTM or whatever the other brand was?
Yeah.
Right.
And for me, that was the hardest decision between the two.
Sure. And NTM's up near you, so that's your neck of the woods. You see them.
They are, but I still went with KWM just because of the smart machine feature.
Sure.
I could walk up, hit the button, and spits it out exactly within a 16th of an inch.
Nice.
And so for me, it was more about, it was the speed. I could do it faster, and that was my goal.
All right. So how do you see, how's rain gutters working out in the sense of all the other services you provide? Does it seem to be the sweetest, most profitable for you, the easiest, or how does it fare across the board? With
I mean, you're in Arizona. It's the desert. Does it ever rain there? Do you need gutters?
I think when it rains, it pours there.
So here's the thing about gutters. In my area, we have standalone gutter companies, especially in Phoenix and Vegas, and that's all they do is gutters. I don't have enough business to do a standalone gutter company for sure. I would have to lower my living standards a little bit, but it makes good money. It is definitely a profitable business for sure, especially because the way that I've streamlined my business and I've been able to increase my profits by the way that I run my company. And so because I run it differently than everybody else, my profits are higher. So the more efficient you can be, the more ROI you're going to get on your company.
All right. Well, let's talk about these efficiencies. How and where are you kind of pinching pennies and streamlining things that leave more money in the pocket?
So when I first decided to do a gutter company, I chose to stock colors that were most common in my area. And I drove around town. I looked at the installation techniques done by my competitors to figure out how they did it and what I could do better. Because the problem is, when you start a company, you know who your competitors are. I didn't really care about their pricing structure. It didn't matter to me because their overhead is different than my overhead.
Right.
If I have $1 million of equipment, I'm going to be expensive. I got workman's comp, liability insurance. I have a lot of stuff. So I'm going to be higher than the other guys. So now I have to be more educated on how to charge more and convince a customer that I'm worth more money.
That's right.
And then I figured out, okay, white and light brown and dark brown are the most common colors in my area. So why not stock that? So then my initial startup was pretty expensive just because I bought a lot of stuff. And fortunately, I emptied out my savings account to start this company without any experience. Did a little bit of research, bought a brand new machine, bought a brand new trailer, did a $6,000 custom wrap on it to make it look very professional. Nobody else at the time was doing it. And then I sold what I had. That's where the proficiency comes in handy. If their house is white and I've got it on my trailer, and let's say they have a gray house. Well, the other guy is gray, but he's 3 weeks out because he has to order the materials from over 100 miles away and then have it ordered. I have white, and white contrasts great. Awesome. I could do it in an hour. Really? Yeah. And you got white trim on your doors. You have white trim on your pop out
Yeah.
home. White will look great. Okay, sounds good. And so that was my thing is sell what I have. And in 4 years, I've had 3 custom orders.
That's
That
it.
was I've
Oh
had three
my
custom.
goodness.
Everybody else has chosen to everybody else has chosen to just buy what I have. And now I bought a second truck because we got bigger, and the builders in my area was to start to paint the colors differently on the houses. So I had to pivot. They started to go with a couple different shades of gray, and nothing I had was going to match.
Right.
So I bought another truck. I flew to Texas, bought an old busted up gutter truck with a busted up machine. Fixed the machine, fixed the truck up, put a wrap on it, and then I stocked it with the other colors that were most common.
All right.
Now I have 6 colors that are the most common in my area. And I got my son's taking his bird away. He's got this big old cockatoo. And normally he's today. So that allows me to give same day service. Depending on when I get the call. And because we're not a high volume gutter company, um, we have the ability to drop what we're doing in the landscape field, and I could pull my landscapers. So my landscapers know how to do gutters, and my
Nice.
gutter guys know how to do my landscape.
I think that's highly important. We cross train here as well.
Yeah, cross training is a huge thing, and upselling. My first bid was $3,500. My competitor was 800, and I won the bid. He never even offered the rest of the house.
Right.
He was what we call an order taker.
That's it.
I just want the entry done. Okay, it's $600.
Right.
Or I could do the whole house and your detached garage for this amount and maintain the landscape if we do the whole thing. Because right now you have a lot of erosion that they were unaware of. The first thing I looked at was the whole yard. I look at the whole picture before I knock on the door,
Yeah.
just so I could have a better understanding. So I was almost $3,000 higher than everybody else, and I still won the bid just because I offered something that nobody else did. Number one, I was faster. I could be on site within an hour, and I offered to do the whole house, and so they got a kick out of it.
Nice. And it's something we see here. I'm in a number of services. I know Colin is as well. That really lends to ability to take the blinders off when you get to the house and see the big picture and see things the other guys aren't seeing. I'm not saying that that's necessarily the answer for you guys at home. Some would argue specialize and do one thing and do it really well. But I will tell you, Chuck's landscape background allowed him to spot the erosion and see upsells that allowed him to win the homeowner over. And the homeowner felt that Chuck is the guy because he's got various skill sets that lend to the big picture. Sometimes you got to bring in a number of different things, whether it's roofing, gutters, landscape, grading, drainage. If you could see more than the other guys, that's a huge asset to have. A
That's
big
right.
tool to flex on the homeowner when you're there.
It's a huge asset. One of my biggest things, and we're a little higher volume, Chuck. And I run right now. We have 4 sales reps, so not a ton, but still 4 reps running. And when we hire a new rep, or in gutter launch, when one of our members is hiring sales reps, we can always tell who's going to do well and who's not, because they show up and they look to solve a bigger problem that the customer presents them. And they're looking for all the other things. Oh, have you noticed? I'm sure your houses are all stucco where you live. Maybe not, but have you noticed all these stucco cracks here? Right. We need to keep water away from that. Oh, nobody else pointed that out
Yeah, see,
for us.
the
Right.
homeowners only know the acute issues. I have a
Right.
gutter that's leaking on my head when I'm walking in and out of the door.
Yep.
They don't know what caused what that caused what. There's sometimes a whole daisy chain of effect as to what the roof. It could be a roof issue, a gutter issue,
That's
a
right.
variety of things. And if you could spot it all and unravel that mystery on why the problem is happening, you can get maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different line items on that bid versus just the gutter at the front door, because that might not even do the job, right? You fix the gutter, replace the gutter, and and the problem above that gutter is still happening. So
That's right. That's
we
it.
we digress. Chuck, more business. So landscaping. How does that tie in? Do you get calls on landscaping that easily segue into rain gutters? Is that commonplace for you?
100% of my, well, 99% of my landscape customers get gutters, and over 50% of my gutter company gets a landscape job out of it. And I don't do yard maintenance, I only do landscape construction. So each company is separate in its own entity, but they each scratch each back. And I work a gutter deal on every single landscape job. Rarely
So
do I have
smart.
somebody tell me no.
Yeah.
And of course, I do give them a better deal package. Let me do the turf, the waterfall, the retaining wall, and I'll tell you what. Normally, I charge this for gutters. If you do the whole package at the same time,
While I'm here,
gutters
Right.
and do the whole thing, the gutters. And with our monsoon seasons, um, it'll flood a backyard where I can fix that, depending on how the roof is pitched. If
yeah.
it's pitched frontward to backwards, there's not a lot I can do. But if the roof line goes from the backyard and then to the front, I could put the gutters on the edge of the house and I can mitigate their flooding significantly. I can't fix anything like that because you still have what's called skyfall. But I can mitigate, especially some of the houses I do, or 3 to 4,000 square feet. Well, I could take a lot of that water in the backyard of the front and fix a flooding problem. So, yes, to answer your question, the landscape does exceptionally well as a sales tool for my gutters, and my gutters gives me an opportunity to do a landscape bid. In
That's right.
fact, 5 of my jobs right now, my landscape jobs, are because of gutter calls.
Yeah.
So yes, they work hand in hand, and it's phenomenal. It was my intention that just exploded.
Yeah.
80 days, my ROI, and I
What
probably put in at least $85,000 into startup.
which lead costs more? Your landscaping leads or your gutter leads?
Gutters. I
Gutters.
I don't spend any money on landscape anymore because I've been around too long. Now that being said, I'm number one on Google for gutters and for landscape in my area. The reason that is of my knowledge with SEO, search engine optimization. I understand how Google works and certain keywords. And also, I understand that I've been doing it longer than anybody else in my area, and Google recognizes that.
Yep.
So when somebody types in gutters, Kingman, Arizona, I'm going to show up first.
That's right.
There's a couple of companies that have been around longer, but they don't have a website and they don't have a presence on Google.
Oh
So they're
gosh.
not,
Can
they're,
you imagine it's 2025 and not having a presence on the interwebs? Like,
Well, because and don't get me wrong, I do it too. I get calls off Nextdoor, not Craigslist, but
Angie.
oh man, Angie's List. Yeah, I get calls off that every once in a while, but not too often. And that's actually where they kind of focus. I don't know why. Google's free. I mean, a website it's $25 a
it's
month.
So let,
free.
let, let me shed a little light on my side of things because I agree with Chuck. And, I have a drainage business. I have a separate LLC for that. That business is booming. It's in 4 years by itself to the revenue of the gutter business. So, we're crushing it. But it's an interesting dynamic. We have, I don't know, 10 websites, 11 websites right now between the brands, and the gutter business by far costs more money to generate a lead because I can leverage SEO and web and base my own organic search results on drainage because there's far less competition. And then everybody's cross trained. So when we go out for a drainage job, we're looking at the rain gutters.
Right.
When the rain gutter salespeople are out looking at rain gutter jobs, they're always asking about the drainage, and it's constant crossover. We're always selling back and forth, and it's a beautiful, beautiful match. It's where does the water convey to, right? A rain gutter system sends the water into drains if there's drains. So why would you not talk about it or touch it when it's just easy money, especially if those drains are clogged or they visibly, you could tell they just haven't been serviced or maintained. That's the next big
Well,
job sitting there
and
waiting.
that's huge to have. I think it's almost foolish to have any companies as a standalone. You should always have as a business owner, you should always want multiple revenue avenues of revenue.
Right.
Multiple streams of income coming in from different places, left and the right. That way, if one drops off, the other picks up.
Right.
And having multiple streams of revenue, in my opinion, is success.
It's
It's
not easy
real.
though for the
It
starter. You're right, the
right.
startup guy. I mean, the costs, the insurances. Each of these businesses are insured,
Yeah,
heavily. General liability, comp. New York State, there's different policies there. I mean, we have uh, overhead, but it's all cost of doing business. You just have to bite the bullet. And Chuck, we did this before we got on, where you just have to eat shit, right, for a couple of years and get this thing rolling. Colin knows everybody wants to be a millionaire overnight, and it takes years of just sucking wind and taking that money and paying it forward, rolling it back into the business, rolling it back
Right.
in until you get to a level that's sustainable. Then you could ease off a little bit, but
That's right.
that's the one thing. Everybody wants instant gratification, and it's hard to just, especially when the money's coming in. You don't want to put it out, or you don't want to put it back into the business. You just want to take it and go to the club.
That's
Like
right.
you're trying to
Yeah.
use that money. So
And to that point, everybody wants diversification and they want to do all these different things. That's true. Like doing that is good for your business at the right time, though. So
right,
many people start that. Like you didn't add gutters for 19 years, right?
yeah,
You were landscaping only for 19 years. And then the gutters came, right?
yeah.
Frank, you were gutters only for how many years? 15, something like that,
yeah. No,
right?
I was roofing in like 8 years,
Eight
but like
years. Yeah.
not like formal branding, marketing LLCs, like starting to roll out other
Right.
entities.
And I was the opposite of both of you. I was, all right, 2 years in, I'm adding garage doors. Next year, I'm adding siding. Next year, I'm adding windows. Next year, I'm adding roofing. And it was a complete cluster F, right? So I've been there and done that. It wasn't until I refined, I got down to just roofing and gutters that I started hitting millions of dollars, right? And I was like,
Yep.
okay, all right, let's build this. And now we added windows here this year. And it's like, all right, that's it.
The other thing
Let's get
is
these
too,
done.
you're leveraging the same client pool, right? You
That's
don't
right.
have to go out and hunt for a new client that didn't exist yesterday in your directory, in your
Correct.
Rolodex, in your CRM. You're leveraging the same customers and just giving them something else that they didn't have before that you do. So
That's it.
that's the cheapest, the least expensive way to continue to bring in business without having to go out and pay for ads
You're
and
already there. You're
that's it.
already there.
You're already trusted. You're a
That's right.
trusted vendor. You've already done well by them.
You know
Yeah.
it. And then, like, yeah, to Frank's point, you do well. I just got an email. Like, George and I were chit chatting before you guys got on, and I just got an email, green light on a $27,000
Nice.
7 window job, small, like 7 crank out
Mhm.
windows, nothing crazy,
Wow.
27 grand. And they're like, okay, but we also want you to look at our gutters because they're not working right,
Yep.
and our roof we know is going to need to be done in the next couple of years. And they're just like throwing money at me.
Yeah. What I find with homeowners are they have terrible experiences with so many guys for so many years. When they finally find a good vendor, if
Yep.
you're the guy that could offer X, A through Z, you have a lot of
Yes.
tools in your arsenal. Want to hold you close, and they're going to call you again and again and again. And
I
Yep.
hear
that's
that
the
all the
way.
time.
That's what you want to shoot for. You want to be the guy that they're just embracing. They're so happy to finally get a good guy, and it's the whole picture, right? Work's got to be good, but the communication from the beginning, the email follow-ups, the digital nice looking quotation, every step has to be hitting on all cylinders, and then you win them over, and then they're yours forever. They're
That's it.
yours to lose.
Yep.
Well, yeah, and most of my customers have. I mean, I shouldn't say most of my customers, but I hit 100 reviews in my first year on Google. That's
That's
very
awesome.
difficult
It's
It
phenomenal.
because
is.
you know as well as I do, not everybody has a Gmail account. That's the only way to
That's
leave
right.
a
Next hurdle, yeah.
But we did hundreds and hundreds of houses as well. And the only way you're going to get the review is by asking and then sending them a direct link.
That's right.
Well, you got to do that on every customer. You can't say, well, this customer is going to do it, this customer won't. I have sat in their kitchen and walked them through on how to leave me a review, as long as they were happy. You know
Right.
what I mean? And I always make sure, are you 100% satisfied with what? And they would, say, yeah, absolutely. Would you mind leaving me a 5-star review? Because reviews are huge. I can't tell you how many calls I get just because of my reviews.
Yeah, if you do a great job for them, they'll go that extra mile and they'll feel almost obligated or guilty if they don't give the review. If you just kind of schlep through it and disappear and there's no even like an exit interview, right? You got to like see them
But I
off
think
at the
you
end.
got to make it easy for them. You got to send them a direct link to send that review, because if not, they got to kind of figure it out. But if you got a direct link on your phone and they send them that link, it's so much easier for the customer to leave you a review.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is even sending the link, they're not going to click on it and take care of that review if you don't see the job through and make them feel good at the end. Like it's the whole
You have to earn it.
process of the touch.
Yeah. You have to earn the review, and you have to ask for it. A lot of people don't even ask for it because they don't have any value in reviews. You know, I tell you how many people on the forum on your Facebook page, they're like, I just do word of mouth. I said, would you imagine if you expanded that, how much more busier you'd be? You know, and
or how much more you could charge, right?
Sure.
If people actually wanted your
They
service,
don't care about that. They only care about volume. They want to be with a contractor who's going to write off 30,000 linear feet. I'm like, why? For example, my 3 houses, I can net more off of 10 with one of my competitors because his only goal is to undercut my price. I don't care.
Right.
I could do 3 houses. You got to do 10. And yet I'm still busy. I don't care. I don't care what you charge. It doesn't matter. And I only do retail. I know there's a niche for people that do commercial. I'm not that guy.
I used to take on commercial. We did a blend, and it's been so many years. Retail is where the money's at. It's the fastest pay. It's just the right answer. You know, that's where if you want to really make a profit, you go to retail. If you want to do high volume because for some reason that makes you feel good, even though you're not making much at all per foot, stick to commercial and pound your chest and tell us about how many thousands of feet you installed today. I know you're not making much on it because that's why you're doing thousands in a day. Because
you have to.
Because you're the cheap guy. Right.
Yeah. And I can't say I've never been the cheap guy. Yes, when you start out, you are. The gutters, I wasn't. The gutters, when I started my company, I was the highest in town for sure. I was charging $15 a foot and $250 a downspout, and I was selling jobs left and right. But I was also the only one in Arizona that was doing same day service. You know?
And you were the only one offering 6-inch.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
so you had
now there was one company for a while. He's out of business now. He had a 6-inch machine, but his mentality was the cost. They're too expensive to run. And I thought that was great because for me, it's like, I'm not going to offer a subpar product when I know I live in an area with monsoon rains.
Right.
You need a larger volume gutter. I mean, it's 40% more between a 5-inch and 6-inch. So it would only behoove one, even on a double trailer. I've done 6-inch gutters, and people would say, well, they look gaudy. No, they don't. I've done many, many trailers, single wide and double wides with 6-inch gutters. They look fine.
Right.
And after a while, you don't even
5-inch looks strange. I haven't touched a 5-inch in forever. We sold off all our machines maybe.
I agree.
14
I
years
think a 5-inch looks.
It looks strangely small.
Right.
It does. And when we have a even with a shallow roof pitch, when we have a monsoon rain, it overshoots them. They're just not.
Well, you guys don't understand the science behind slope and what the projection of that roof run to be based on that slope. There's a science behind that, and then you don't want to be too high. You gotta understand the runoff, the square footage of that, and then the slope, and not catch the front, especially where I am. I mean, you don't get snow, but snow is a major factor.
We had one snowstorm in 4 years.
Yeah,
and I had 18 inches bearing weight on all my gutters.
Wow.
And
what do you space your hangers at?
Huh?
What's your spacing on your hangers? Standard 24.
So up the mountain is 12 inches. Down here, 18.
Okay. Good. Yeah, 18 is what we use. Standard. We'll go tighter if we need to.
Yeah, up in the mountains, I have to because they get more snow more often, and they'll get 24 to 26 inches. I've never had a single gutter fail, not one, and we've had multiple snowstorms.
Yeah. Well, we could, the three of us, we could brag on how great we are and all the things we have Let's add some value to the audience and talk about maybe SEO is a great first topic, like the things people should be doing or figuring out how to find somebody to do it for them that could really add a boost to their business. Chuck, what say
So,
you on SEO?
so I would say, as far as search engine optimization, I mean, obviously the first step, create a website, because without a website, you're really not going to show up. You can
Right.
start a Facebook page and create a Google page on that way, but in reality, when you create a website, even if it's kind of hokey, I did it day one. Um, it will it will start your experience level on Google, and Google looks at parameters like how long you've been in there, how long have you been in business, how much activity. Um, that's why I connected my Facebook to my Google page, because I was very active at the beginning. I'm really not anymore, just because we're so busy with the landscape, not as busy with the gutters. But the more interaction that I got between Facebook and Google, the higher up I was moving on the Google ratings.
For
And
sure.
that's what Google looks at. Now, my main startup was going door to door, handing out business cards. I spent $25. I went door to door. I didn't sell anybody anything. I said, hey, I'm a new gutter business in town. If you'd like a free estimate, please give me a call. Period. End of story. Over 50% of the doors that I knocked on, that I talked to people, asked for a bid, and out of the 50% of that, I sold 80% of those customers.
Are you kidding me?
Kyle,
You
I
said
50%.
50%?
So it was 50% people that I talked to said, "Yes, give me a bid," and then the 80% said yes to that.
Those are numbers.
That's
What's that?
insane.
Those are incredible numbers. I mean, we know door knocking and the conversion rates are generally low.
They,
Yes.
they are, but but see, I wouldn't just offer gutters either. I would
That's
say,
true.
how
You
about
have
yard
other
maintenance
things.
plan? How about, and I'm the only one that I know of that offers a lifetime warranty.
How do
So
you brand yourself?
Oh, yeah.
What's the name
That's
of the
good.
business? Uh,
it's Lightning Seamless Rain Gutters,
okay, and then the landscaping,
Lightning
bullet,
Enterprises
and you have
landscape.
bullets
Yeah.
for both on the trailer.
Well, I do, um, and I park because I paid a company to fully wrap my trailers. So whether I have a gutter job or not, that gutter trailer is always on my job site, even if I'm not even doing a gutter, because exposure is huge.
Yep,
People don't know you if they don't see you,
that's right.
and sometimes older people, they don't know how to do the whole internet thing. I can't tell you how many people between 60 to 80 years old have stopped by and talked to my guys, said, "Hey, I was really looking for a gutter company. I didn't know how to find one."
Yeah.
And we sold them right then and there, and we're on their house within a matter of hours because we had their color in stock. And so, door to door,
God,
it was absolutely great. And within 90 days, I had my ROI just from going door to door. I didn't have a name, nobody knew me. And so they knew my landscape, but they didn't know the gutters. So going door to door, having a wrap, doing a couple advertisements here and there in the local papers is how it started. And then, but the SEO, to climb up the ladder, you need to have a lot of reviews, legit reviews. Um, because the way Google works is it looks at zip codes and locations. And if all your reviews are coming from the same area or whatever, it knows that they're fake. So you're not going to score high on the Google rating. So the more legit reviews, that people that post pictures, I've noticed, makes a difference. People that write um, a detailed review versus they did a good job versus the experience. Some of my customers have written paragraphs about the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I believe with the SEO, I believe that's what's caused me to go higher. Plus
that
the experience, how long I've been doing
Yeah,
it.
you really need to learn from reviews, and we analyze weekly in our management meeting, and it's the same message again and again and again. And I've said this before on the pod. It's never about the job, really. I mean, it's maybe a blip about the work, but the whole review, and we have a 4.9 or 5.0 on one of the other ones, with a few hundred. But the message again and again and again is the experience. They were amazing. The customer service was excellent. They were so responsive. They answered all my questions. They got here fast. It wasn't about the work. It was about how we treated them and how receptive we were to questions and just managing the customer experience. The customer experience, how you make them feel, is going to leave that mark, leave that lasting impression about you and your business. The work is fleeting. It comes, it goes, especially in drainage. It's underground. They can't even see it until it's, unless the trench is open, then you backfill and compact and it's gone goodbye. It's just, how did we leave them feeling when we left?
But they remember Frank.
That's
They
right.
remember
Right.
Colin. They remember you, and
Right.
that's huge. You're not just there to collect a paycheck. They remember you. You see them
You
in the
know,
grocery store. Oh, hey, Frank, how's it going? Oh, hey, Tom. I'm horrible with names, so I'm always bad. I'm like, hey, you.
hey,
So
you.
Buddy.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty bad about that.
You said something, Chuck, that got my wheels turning. That reviews with pictures tend to do really well for us.
They do.
Why don't we, as a contractor, we're taking and completed photos for company cam or whatever, right? Why don't we text them that photo or multiple photos with the link to leave the review? Why don't we start doing that?
You could. They would have to download the photo, and then
Right.
they'd have to download it and then upload it. So that's a little bit.
An extra step or two is usually a giant deterrent, but it is a great idea, and some people would do it for you.
Right.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. There's somebody knocking on my door. Normally, I don't get knocks. Give me two
Uh-oh.
seconds.
Yeah. Uh
Okay.
oh.
This might get interesting.
Somebody offering a free estimate. So
Watch closely. Chuck scared him away now.
yeah.
We don't want
Yeah.
any of that.
That's right. That's right. No, that it is an extra step, but
Yeah.
it might be just enough to get them to commit.
I like it. I like it. We'll test it. I'll
I'm
test it.
gonna test it. I'm testing it tonight. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
yeah,
Guy.
You're another company cam guy, huh, Kyle?
I'm a big company cam guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we love it. It's not
right.
cheap, but man,
It's
I'm paying over
not, like they
$1,000 a month, I think.
oh my goodness. It's like, golly, like you really gotta charge me like $30 or $40 a user.
No,
Like
it's insane.
it's
But man,
insane.
is it helpful. It's our
It's
knowledge base for everything.
yes, it's amazing. So
Another thing is that make sure to put, if you're able to, put a yard sign up at every house.
Yes.
Never miss.
nope.
You don't have to spend the $100 for the real estate ones, but the better your brand, the more reputable you are. I can't tell you how many neighborhoods are flooded with my signs, flooded, talking 15, 20. And so by default, yeah, my competitor, he might have one or two, but Lightning has like 30. So I'm doing way more houses, and it also means I'm more reputable, because if I've done your neighbor's house, you're able to trust me.
Absolutely.
And so yard signs, again, spend the money, invest into yourself. You're going to be successful depending on how you spend your money. I spend my money on upgrading equipment. I can't tell you how many thousands of dollars I spent on the best equipment for my guys. Anything they need, whether it's a ladder, a harness, any kind of safety gear, anything to make their lives easier, a truck, I'll buy them whatever they need, because you cannot skimp out on the tools of the trade. And
Right.
so I never question my guy. If they want a tool, they have my credit card. They just buy it. They don't even have to ask me.
Yep.
That's the trust relationship between my employees and myself, is that my two foremen have credit cards. They don't need my permission. They can buy whatever they want.
Yeah.
And with supplies, especially supplies. My gutter guy, I have a dedicated gutter guy. He'll spend $20,000, $30,000 a month. I don't even question it. It
Wow.
is what it is. If that's what it takes to keep the company running, I'm not going to question it. I trust him, and so order what you need to order and keep the
That's
company
right.
running.
So how many crews you running? You have 1, 2 crews, you said?
So I have one crew for the gutter and one crew for the landscape.
Okay.
And so basically, I got a foreman for each, and then I have general laborers that are part time, depending on the job.
And you're focused on sales?
That's all I do. I just do sales, logistics. I will hang gutters with my guy if it's over 50 feet. He's good at 40. He's good at 45 feet, 50. I mean, he can hang a longer gutter. I don't want him to.
No.
It's just not worth the risk. And besides that, I don't mind getting my fat butt up on a ladder and hanging and banging. I got no
That's right.
problem doing it. You know, he's the gutter guy. He's been doing it way longer than me. So you have. So when I started, I did it. I didn't know how to do gutters. I just read a book on how to do gutters. I watched a couple videos. I talked to my sales rep through service partners and said, "Hey, how do I load the coil into the machine?" I didn't even know how to operate the machine, so he taught me how to load the
Remember those
machine,
days?
how to load a coil, and how to do some basics. And then I just kind of figured it out. And then, but the best thing that happened was a guy out of Phoenix wanted to work for me. He actually found me on your guys' Facebook page
Nice.
because I was growing very quickly, and I decided to give him a chance. And your people, my people, is what got me to the next level. So that was a game changer when I hired the right person, which fortunately for me was the first guy. The first guy for me.
Got lucky.
That's right.
So here's the thing. Yes, I did. I did get lucky. That being said, um, the um, I learned a lot over the years about how to treat my employees. If you pay them well and you give them time off and you don't grind on them and give them a certain amount of freedom, they're gold. They're gold. They don't want to leave because they're not going to make. My guys will not make more money working for somebody else because I pay them more than what the
Right.
industry says I should. I give them bonuses on completion, 1 day completion, so it motivates them. Um, and I treat them with respect and I give them a lot of freedom. And without that, I don't think I'd be where I am today without my people. I know I wouldn't be because
Yeah.
Right.
my people are my success.
100%.
That's it,
I
man.
completely agree with that. I have a phenomenal team here, and they
That's
make everything move. You know.
that's right.
They do. They do.
It's the only way to win. I mean, there's only so many hours in a day for us to kick butt and take names, right? We need other people on our team kicking butt and taking names.
That's
And
it.
in the beginning, it's all about us to get it started. And then, when we're ready to scale up, that's when we start hiring people. And we hope we hire the right person. You
That's
know,
it, man.
I was lucky. I got a good guy that loves gutters, and he was doing it for years as a lead gutter out of Phoenix. So he just took and rolled with it, and I trusted him, and it was a good match.
Nice. How long has he been with you now?
5 years.
Okay. Awesome.
Nice.
4 years. He started with me 6 months after I started. I
Wow.
grew very, very fast, very fast. We did probably 200,000 in the first 3 months.
Wow.
It was amazing how quickly the business blew
See,
up.
it's nice to have that other company to kind of lean on and
That's
leverage
right.
and upsell. You just cross over and upsell. You got the clients, and away you go.
Yeah,
That's it.
we did a lot of business right off the bat. The first year and a half was my biggest because it was a whole new thing for our area. So I got in it. I got in at a very good time. My competition was extremely weak, and they weren't at my level with the professionalism. Torn jeans, torn shirt, but
Oh, yeah.
old truck, old trailer. Not saying you got to have all the nice stuff to be successful. I'm not saying that at all. But I brush my teeth. I push my hair forward a little bit. I make sure I don't stink. And I've had
The little things. The little things.
making sure your breath doesn't stink's a big deal. People laugh when I say that, but I tell you what, I've been sold by people with massive BO and stank breath. And I'm like, dude, that's nasty. I can't even listen to you. I don't want to be around you, so I'm not going to hire you. Take a shower, brush your teeth.
I
Hilarious.
say it all the time. Everything they're judging you, and social interactions. Forget about sales, right? Well, everything is a sale in life, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Every new introduction is a sale, one way or the other. And so, it's just science. You in a micro millisecond, you start reading the other person. You're judging. You're taking in everything: the shoes, the jeans or the ripped jeans, the stank breath, the haircut, that your brain is microprocessing all of
Right.
this in a second, making a snap judgment on what type of person they are, who they are at home, who they are in business. Can you trust them? Right? This is fight or flight. This is how we were wired as cave people to know if we're in a safe place or this is going to be a problem and we're going to have to run or fight. And take advantage of that, guys, when you're out in the world. It's very, very important. I always try to put my best foot forward. I don't like when I have a beard, but if I have a little growth on my neck every 2 days, I'm shaving and trimming and
Make sure your boogers aren't hanging off your mustache.
just got a nice collared shirt when I sell. Everything matters, and I see that it all adds up, and it improves my closing rate. It's just the way it is.
And I've lost jobs because of my truck. I have a nice truck, and I've had people say, "You make too
Too
much money."
nice, yeah.
And I'm like, "Really?" I was like,
That, yeah.
"Okay."
That's my one complaint about home services is if I was a realtor and I showed up in a Lamborghini, people would want to work with me, right? But if I show up in a Lamborghini to quote your gutters, you're like, yeah, screw you, kid.
Well, it's not. I mean, it doesn't correlate, right? Like
Right.
you're not looking like you're trying to work. It looks like you're trying to get to the country club and hang out.
Well,
Yeah,
another thing is they don't. That's just also that they don't value your time. They're like, well, you shouldn't be that successful doing gutters because gutters are a cheap byproduct of a house improvement system, and you shouldn't. I just thought I don't understand the mentality. It's a very horrible mentality. I don't work for those people. I do have about 5 bad reviews. They're all from people that I've chosen to not work for. They're not from my customers. They're from people that I've kind of clashed a little bit, and I told them that we're probably not a good fit, or they're outside of my service area. I have a very specific service area, and I chose not to go to other areas, mainly for logistical reasons: trees, dirt roads, stuff like that. It's my choice. It's my company, and they get so upset about it, they'll leave me a bad review, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
If you're that upset because you got rejected in a respectful manner, I don't know if I would have worked for you to begin with.
That's right.
I've never left a bad review for somebody
We were
else.
just talking about reviews, right? And I had said how we talk about them weekly. We were reviewing, and there was one review. We're like, why is this a 4.9? Like, what's the last bad review? And we scrolled back, and it was a builder, and he called our office, had a conversation with office manager. Office manager tells him, kind of sniffed out the situation and said, "We don't work for builders." I got so insulted. He went on the internet and wrote a bad review just to bash us, which I love that because you're not going to put a dent in a 5-star rating. And he couldn't even write in proper English. The review is ridiculous. But he said, "Can you believe I called there to get gutter? I'm a builder and I build 2 homes a year, and I called to get gutters put on a house, and they said they weren't interested. Can you believe that? A gutter company that doesn't want to gutters?" It's like, it actually happens. We get to choose too, buddy. We get to fire customers.
People don't like being rejected. They hate it.
No,
He hate being rejected. All the hate I've ever gotten is from people that I've rejected. For sure.
I think he had a problem with women too. I think there was he didn't want to be told no, and there was some tension on the phone, I was told. So, I mean, they're out there. I'm in a real high net worth area, and so I'm working on, like $5 million homes is probably the average, but we work on 30, 40, $50 million houses. And when I go out of the area, just 20 miles out, and the homes are a bit more modest, we're not priced hyper priced for the area we're in, but we're the most expensive option. But when I get there, it's like, well, you called, it's like calling the BMW dealership and thinking you're going to get a Honda. Like, you called. And so everything we do with our marketing is supposed to exude that high value, that we are going to be the most expensive option for you, to kind of like get the homeowner to understand they should take read the cues on the front side. Don't call us if that's not for you. And I have no problem walking away from an opportunity. I don't chase the price. We know where we need to be, and we know what our limits are. And it just is what it is. If that doesn't work, if we don't have a match made in heaven, okay, best of luck to you. We're out of here, and no hard feelings. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, some people just take it too personally. They
Yep.
just, and shit like that, I don't want to deal with them anyway. I mean, I'm thick-skinned. I've
You know
been
what
turned
you're gonna
down
get.
a couple times, and you know what? All right, I get it. But I'm also a very logical individual. Sometimes if we're like this, nah, I got it. I'm okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to win every bid, but
No.
some better guys, they think that they do, and so, um, give me
Yeah,
one.
I think with time, with experience, that you soften on that, right? I mean, I remember all of these iterations and phases that I was in over the years, and when I was younger in my 20s, yeah, I took it personally. I wanted to win everything. I'm highly competitive, and
Yeah,
so I would like come back and adjust pricing and do that thing. Now it's on my reputation and our breadth in the marketplace, right? You go anywhere on any social media channel, any YouTube, we just smother it in content, and we stand behind it. Like, yeah, we're the guys. Like, that's right. We price it fair, and we're going to stand behind our pricing. You start
and be
playing games like
different. You got to be different. And you guys brought this up earlier. There's a lot of guys out there that are complaining that they don't have enough work or they're searching for work, all this. And I ask them, trade out on your own page. What makes you different than your competitor? I could list you several things, but what are you doing differently? Because if you're not doing nothing different, then you're nothing but a number. You're
that's right.
nothing but a dollar higher than your
Yeah,
competitor.
a low
Yep.
price on a piece of paper.
That's it. I don't write out bids. I only write up contracts. If you want a number from me, it's a contract. I'm not writing out bids. I'm too busy in my life.
And Chuck, that's why we have you on. I appreciate your blunt personality on the groups, and I support that. Like me or love, hate me or hate me, but at the same time, I really feel for a lot of guys where in their heart they know they need to be different, they need to change things up. I just think for a lot of guys, they just don't know where to start. They don't know how to put one foot in front of the other in that realm and to start making a change. And so, guys, it's guys listening. It's little by little. It's not an overnight change. You just have to know all the things you need to touch, all the dials you need to spin, and start spinning them one at a time and make improvements and grow towards a better you, a better presentation, a better product, a better brand, a better business, a better process. And as all of these things start to dial up, albeit slowly, even that's fine. You're just improving, your ability to win over the customer and convince them you are who you want to be.
That's it.
Yeah. And you got to get in front of the customer. If you're taking days off and you're struggling, that's a big problem. Go door to door. Go hustle. Fight for what you want. Stop making excuses. You know, the only reason people aren't calling you is because they don't know about you.
That's
Well,
it.
if they don't know about you, then go to their door, knock on their door. I don't care if they already have a gutter. I could clean it for $50. Cool. If I clean 4 houses a day, that's $200.
Yep.
$1,000 a week. I mean, that's 52,000 a year just cleaning some gutters, and that only took me 2.5 hours.
That's
Boom!
right.
I
Yep.
just made $52,000 net profit, cash money, and all I did was knock on a handful of doors. It
Colin,
is hard to be successful.
the door knocking. Are you still running that campaign?
Oh yeah, we're knocking
No,
doors like crazy.
Yeah. You want to talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah, we can talk
I
about
mean,
that.
I'm blown away that you guys just dove in and took it on the chin, and that's still running the same way.
So it's costing me about 10K a month
Really?
to have four canvassers out, plus Daniel overseeing them, between what I pay them and fuel for the vehicle, sending them out, and door hangers and all that fun stuff,
Yeah.
and then the softwares that we use. So about 10K a month to test this. Um, if we are knocking, our target is at like 110 homes per person. Usually we have like four knocking in an area.
110 what in a week?
Nope, 110 doors in a day.
Wow. Okay.
So they're knocking on 100 and each of them 110. So if I got four people, that's 440. All right. So 440 targeted doors, and we're using Daniel and I are building an app called Lead Spotter that directly finds homes that needs gutter services. All right.
Okay.
So we're testing that as well. So
See, my goal
testing
would
that.
be how many contacts, how many,
Well,
not necessarily how many doors, but how many people out of the 110
right.
are they talking to?
Well, I think he's going
That's
to get down.
exactly
He's going to drill
right.
down on these. I think you know
Yeah.
the numbers.
So if it's all just numbers, right? So if we knock on 110 of those doors, we're going to have conversations with between 50 and 60% of them. All right. So 50 to 60%, that is what we're finding. We expected like 30 to 40%, but what we're having is 50 to 60% of them
Like
are home and we're having
55 a day, something like that.
right.
50 for a round number.
Exactly, per person. And of those 50, what we're getting on average per person is 3 to 5 contacts. Usually that results in like 2 set appointments, all right, in a day. So if I have a team of 4 out, we're getting 8 set appointments and like 20 all in contacts, name, phone number, email, and of course the address there. So,
And then
and
you're
then we get to market
behind
to
that
them.
with marketing. Yeah.
Exactly right. And then we're building it all out where we're just, as soon as we've tagged, we've had a conversation with them, we have a special button that says bet $10, and so for 1 year we're going to be in their mailbox once a month. All right, that's our $10 bet. It's a direct mail piece. So yeah.
So, all right, so let's get back to the dollar numbers. So at, would you say 10 grand it's costing you?
Correct.
10, and so two opportunities, 8 a day, and then what's your conversion rate on the 8?
A little bit lower with gutter. We're running about 40% closing rate on those door knocking leads versus like a Google inbound lead where we're like,
All right, so not to know you, not to drill down and to know your numbers per se, but you're more curious on what the they spend
right.
X's to,
Yeah. So our average ticket's incredible, right? So if we're getting
these
8
days
leads
it
a
is.
day, yeah, eight leads a day, they're knocking 6 days a week. All right. That doesn't mean every person knocks 6 days a week. They usually only work 5 days, but we kind of rotate them. So that's generating 48 leads a week. Now you sprinkle in roofing there, and the roofing closing rate's about 25%. So let's just say 30% closing rate.
Oh, is the
Right.
10K including their commission?
10K. That is
Fine.
10K is our spend to get the lead. That's just canvassers pay.
Okay, so
Right.
they don't make money on the sale.
No.
Just
Nope.
just creating opportunity. Got it. All right.
Exactly. Yeah, they get paid a bonus for lead set and all that fun stuff. Right. So we got 8 a day times 6 days a week. That's 48 a week. Let's just do this by the month. All right.
Yeah.
So times 4 weeks. All right. It's 192 leads. Times that about a 30% closing rate. We got 57.6 sales basically. Is what that can generate for us. So
What's your average ticket?
call that 57. With roofing and windows and everything, our average ticket's about 14K. All
Wow.
right. So, 57 times 14,000, boom, 798. That's not right. All right. On average.
Like,
So,
my man.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll just be honest with you, right? Our
Months are up, months are down.
months are up and months are down, but usually we're in that $400,000 to $500,000 a month range. So,
Fantastic.
so
That's great numbers.
there we go.
All right, just and I don't want to spend too much more time on the door knocking, as intriguing as it is, but I am curious, and I'm sure the guys at home are. To me, I don't think I could pull it off here. I just don't think. I think homeowners are way too uppity and wouldn't take to it well. But I may be wrong, and that might be my own mental block. But of that mindset, and then you overcame that and were wowed when you went out and did it, or what's your take on how it's received at the door?
As far as what, I lost you for a second. I didn't hear that whole question.
Setting up that type of campaign for your business, is it, you're getting chased out of the front walkway, or like, I mean,
No,
you're converting, Colin. You're telling us about these numbers.
no. The thing is, I'm not
Converting it
selling.
too.
I'm just handing off a business cards, and people respond differently if you try to sell somebody something, they don't want to talk to you.
Right.
But if you're just trying to hand off a business card with a magnet stuck to the back of it, that's another thing I've always done is I always put a magnet on the back of my business card.
Gold.
And I say, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just letting people know I'm a new business. I just started a gutter company. If you would like a free estimate, give me a call whenever you get a chance. Come on in. I mean, literally, it was like that. And I've been in sales most of my life. So I know how to overcome objection very well, whether it's the cost, it doesn't matter. I know how to figure out a way to overcome objection. So overcoming objection is a big deal. But I was well received because I wasn't trying to sell anything. And I think that's where a lot of people get stumped on is that they're trying to sell something. I was just trying to tell people, hey, I'm here. Give me a call if you ever want a free estimate. That's it.
So here you go. We're talking about the range here. Chuck is knocking, introducing, handing off a card. Colin's going for the kill. So that,
Actually, we don't sell.
no,
It's
but I
just
mean,
setting the
we'd
point.
like
But
to.
yeah,
We'd like to send an estimator out and doing a free assessment, right? I mean, that's what.
we sell a free assessment.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I
So
would never leave a card on a door either. Like if I didn't talk to somebody, they didn't get my card.
yeah,
And then
I,
I would have a little
I
paper
find
roll.
it spooky if somebody leaves something on my door and they're in my realm, right? They're on my property. They're tucking something in my door. I don't know how long they were there. Were they peeking in the windows? Like it's kind of weird because you didn't engage them, you didn't call them. It's like in modern times, but if you could disarm them and have that communication, have that contact, that's a different story.
Right.
That
I
is
That's actually a really good point and something I might change with the door hanger thing.
really
I didn't think about it from that perspective, and maybe we bet $10 on that house if it needs our services, and we just start getting in the mailbox and we keep going back trying to knock different times. You
there
know,
you
people
go.
hire people. People hire. That's what we have to remember in our business is that we're successful because they like us,
right?
not because of some stupid advert. I mean, I'm not calling your door hanger stupid, but most of us, and you're no different. You see an advertisement, what's the first thing you do? You toss it in the trash.
Yeah.
Maybe it catches your eye, maybe it doesn't. I don't look at those at all. When I need somebody, whether it's gutters or landscape, I go to Google, I do search on the people, and then I make that call. And so I've never been a door hanger guy. It is definitely one way to make that connection. But when they see you and you hold yourself well, I don't know. It just for me, I've had a very, very high close ratio because I only give cards to people that I meet,
Right.
not to the ones
Chuck,
that
can
I.
you tell everybody how do you prepare for work? How do you dress? Do you wear a uniform? How do you present?
Yeah, so I've got I bought shirts for my guy for sure. Just normal pants and boots. Professional for sure. Um, you know,
Logo on the shirt? What do you
yeah,
collar?
yeah. I got a little Lightning Enterprises shirt that I bought for the crew, and I buy them whatever they need to make sure they look good.
Nice. Very
And
good.
give it that professional. The trailers and is really where I've invested a lot of my money. I spent tens of thousands of dollars on my equipment, my trailers with the professional wrap to make it look professional so that when we're on a job site, everybody can clearly see the word gutters. So a lot of companies, you know as well as I do, they do these really fancy wraps, but you don't even know what the fancy wraps are about. Like,
Too
wait a
much.
minute,
Too busy.
it's
Yep.
way too busy.
Yeah.
Mine is very clear. It gutters, and it's the biggest thing on my truck is the word gutters, and then the next biggest thing is my phone number. Very blocked out, clear. You can see it from a mile away. Gutters and my phone number. The rest of it,
Yeah.
it's all
You're
show.
walking the dog by it, you'll see it, you'll
That's
read it.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I get it. All right. What
Yep.
else you want to share with the folks at home, Chuck? I mean,
Stop worrying about your competitors.
good one.
See it. I see every post. It doesn't matter how many. Yes, it does matter. Don't get me wrong. If you're in a town of 10,000 and you got 500 guys doing the same thing, who cares? Just be different. No, it is important to know your competitors for sure. You need to know not what they charge, but their installation techniques. What can you do differently? What can you do better? you got to stop making excuses. If you're taking days off, then stop doing that. If you're not working 10 hours a day, going door to door, you're not doing enough. Stop making excuses. Stop saying, well, woe was me, woe was screw that.
Yeah.
10 hours. You get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock, and if you're out of work, you just start knocking on doors, getting in your face in front of other people. Stop making excuses. Stop taking Saturdays off. If you're trying to grow a business or you're trying to be successful, there are no days off. It's work, work, work. You want to take Sunday off because of religion reasons, Saturday? All right, cool. But everything else is 10 hours a day until you get to where you want to be. If you're not putting in 10 hours of work a day on the hustle, you're not doing enough. If you want to scale up to there, 8 hours, 9 hours, 10, fine. I didn't do that. My minimum was 10 hours a day, 7 days a week until I grew my business.
I only work a 3-hour day.
What's that?
I only work a 3-hour day.
A lot of people.
I'm just kidding.
I don't. I can tell you right now, my average days, less than 3 hours.
I was about to call bull. So
there's
my average day is 2 to 3 hours of sales and a little bit of marketing. Now because we're well established and word of mouth is strong, Google's strong. I don't need to do that anymore, and my guys never work weekends.
So just to pontificate a little deeper on what Chuck said about not considering competitors or worrying about them. If you guys didn't know, and you're gutter guys, and maybe all you do are gutters, there are a million guys doing gutter. It's such a highly saturated industry. You guys all know that. So that being said, like, what can you possibly worry about? Do you focus on you, build your brand, separate yourself from the pack? Don't worry about your competitors because you'll drive yourself nuts. There's nothing you can do about it. A gutter machine on every street corner these days.
That's right.
Yeah.
Differentiate yourself.
What makes you different? And I knew at the beginning my competitors, I knew what they did, and I knew what I could do to be better. And for me, it was the time. Time is money. You tell somebody I could do your gutters today, holy cow.
That is a great winning proposition. A lot of people are, it's now, right? Everybody is they want instant gratification with product. That's a great way. And you see like flooring companies, carpeting companies, Empire Today, right? That's the name of that big national franchise. People want stuff right away. And so, if you could deliver that, you could definitely win in a bigly way, Colin.
That's right.
And I know people are going to say, well, that won't work in my area. How do you know? Have you tried it? Have you loaded up your trailer with the 3 most common colors in your area and gave it a shot? Because if you haven't, you don't know if it's going to work or not. You really don't. Sell what you have, give a discount, and then charge more for a special color. I could do that, but I'm going to charge you an extra 25% for a special color. And it's going to take about 2 to 3 weeks to get the colors in. Or whatever.
That sucks. You have to go that far, 100 miles to get material in?
I don't anymore. I have it shipped in. We have Friday. The truck comes on Fridays.
Yep.
And my guys are really good about inventory. So once they're down about 50%, we restock. That way we never run out.
Nice. If you guys weren't on earlier in the conversation, Chuck says he stocks about $100,000 in material. Tries to keep that at any given time. I mean, none of us expected COVID. I know when that hit and we couldn't get materials, you turn around and instantly look on the shelf and you're like, crap, what do I have? How am I going to do this? All the high gloss disappeared, and it was like low gloss. The manufacturers were tricking us and selling us, no, I have white, I have high gloss. And, they ship it across the country because you couldn't get it. You get it anywhere you can, and it was off-white. You're like, oh, my God, are you kidding me?
And everybody told me that. I started during COVID. Everybody said I was a moron. I was an idiot. I don't know how, because I never hung a gutter.
Business was booming during COVID. We were slammed.
Oh, it was awesome. What a great time to start a business was because everybody.
And the fact you're doing same day, like, golly, you were scratching people's itch. Like, they couldn't get anything same day.
Right.
So,
you
were
feel, right?
scratching what they wanted.
Premium, $15, $18, $20 a foot. $250 to $350 downspout, and just because I was Keep in mind.
How are you pulling that off? If you're doing the sales and you're out there doing the estimate and you're talking to them and you said, say it's 12 in the afternoon, I'll come tomorrow or I'll have it in 2 hours.
Also depends on the weather. So if we're in a high wind situation, I'm not putting my guys on my ladder.
No doubt. No doubt.
So there is certain situations that I don't offer that. If it's too windy, rainy, snow, any acclimate weather that's going to physically hurt my guys, I'm not going to put them in dangers to make a dollar. It isn't worth it.
Right.
So, but to answer your question, if it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon and a deal, yeah, it's the next day. I might come by and drop off a trailer just for advertising purposes. So my guy, all he has to do is show up.
Right.
I'll take care of the logistics for him. So the only thing he has to do is go to the job site. Everything's already loaded up in my trailer. All my trailer and my box truck is fully loaded with everything you need to do gutters with all the colors. So if he just has to show up to work at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. and start banging, perfect. I get that job done faster and more efficiently than everybody else because I'm already ready to go. I don't have to get ready because I am ready.
That makes sense. Makes sense. Where to now, Chuck? What's the next phase for your business? Where you're trying to take this?
I don't know, man. The problem is that, as you guys know, talent's hard to find. And the only way to scale up my business at this point is to hire more people. I'm making good money. I'm almost complete. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm almost debt free, but I'm pretty darn close. So I'm pretty content where I'm at in life. In fact,
what's wrong with that?
I think for the last year, if you look at my post on your podcast, my focus has been more helping others. It isn't really about myself. I'm doing great. I want to help other people. I want to be able to sow back in the community, into the gutter community, and say, hey, look, guys, there's a way for success. Maybe do this instead. And I think for the rest of my years on this planet, my focus is going to be not only to maintain my businesses, is to help others with theirs. And I love helping other people. I've coached a lot of people, and because of a lot of people on your Facebook page have reached out to me, and I've talked to them about what I do. So I would say that's my next focus, is just to help other people.
Fantastic. We do a lot of that and enjoy it ourselves, and it's definitely where it's at.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Helping people win bigly.
All right. Anything fun for the weekend, boys?
I'm going to Niagara Falls, so we're flying out for a week on vacation, and fly out of Vegas on Saturday and go hang out at Niagara Falls for a week, and explore the East Coast. So going from West Coast to East Coast.
Enjoy, man. You're coming to my neck of the woods.
Just as you're going to be right between Frank and I. So
nice.
Sweet. Heck yeah, man. Enjoy the snot out of that. I did my honeymoon there. That was almost 12 years ago now.
We go to Canada for the first time. Got our passports done. And so, it should be a good experience. I do a lot more vacation now that I've got my company on track and
good for you.
Running very well. And my guys now, they can do bids, they can collect, they do deposits. And so I don't really need to be here anymore. And that's what I think everybody's goal should be, is to not work till the day you're dead, but to build something great and let other people run it for you. You can collect a paycheck as long as you hire the right people.
Right.
And
right.
I'm in that position in my life.
Well, enjoy that trip. It sounds fun.
I sure will.
I'm headed to the beach on Saturday. I'm going down to Outer Banks. We do that every year.
Nice.
Let the kids run around on the beach. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'll miss you next week, Colin.
That's right. You're off.
I'm off. Yeah. We're going to have to figure something out. I don't like missing the pod, but the family needs a trip.
It's all right. We'll live, man. We'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yep. Awesome.
Chuck, thank you very much for coming out.
Yeah, Chuck. Great to meet you, sir.
Appreciate you having me, and I hope everybody has financial success and everything in business.
There you go.
All right, man.
All right. Facebook, YouTube.